Hello friends, this is Vishal, and today we are going to start with the second lesson of biology for grade 6, the flower. And as you can see, we will be covering today the parts of the flower, the structure and the function of each whorl. In the following videos after this, we will be covering pollination, fertilization, fertilization of fruit, fate of each part of the flower after fertilization, parts of fruits, seeds, germination. So let us start. As you know, this video is a reading and explanation video. So if you have your book with you, you can open the book as well. Otherwise, this video in itself will help you with a word-to-word explanation. Let's go through the text. A flower is usually the most beautiful and colorful part of a plant, which serves as the reproductive organ. So the most important thing is that the flower is the reproductive organ for the plant. It is attached to the shoot by means of a stalk or a pedicel. The tip of the stalk is enlarged and slightly flattened, known as the thalamus, from where the petals and the other floral parts arise. So let's have a look at this diagram here. So this is the thalamus here, as we can see, and the base of the flower, that is known as the thalamus, and the stalk that attaches the flower with the branch is known as the pedicel. So we have seen this now. Examine a fully opened flower and note its different parts. You will observe that each part is arranged in such a way that we can call them the four whorls or rings of a flower. These are, number one, or the outermost whorl is known as the calyx. It is made up of tiny green leaf-like structures known as sepals. In this structure, these are the sepals. The green structure here, these are the sepals, the outermost whorl. During the budding stage, each enclose the inner part of the flower to provide necessary protection to the growing buds. Sepals are green outermost part of the flowers. So I believe by now sepal is clear. It is the green outermost part of the flower. And now we go to the next one. The next part here is corolla. This forms the second inner whorl. It is made up of structures called petals. These are usually colored or white, but never green. The petals make the flower attractive and hence attract insects for pollination. Now, as you can see in this diagram here, these colored parts here are known as the petals. They are also known as corolla. They are the colored part of the flowers. Then we go further. In some cases, sepals may be absent or are fused with the petals in a flower. Petals are large, fragrant, and brightly colored part of the flowers. So when we find that the flowers are beautiful and colored and fragrant, it is because of the petals that we see. Now we come to the next part, known as androecium. Now it is very important that whenever we come across these terms, we are very particular about learning the spellings as well. It is the third whorl of the flower inner to the petal. This whorl is made up of stamens. Each stamen is made up of a thin thread-like filament which at its tip bears an anther. The anther contains pollen sacs which produce a yellow powdery material consisting of pollen grains. So, if we look at this structure here, this long structure with at the end we can see a yellow part here, rounded part. So this is the androecium. This entire part here is the androecium, and we can see there's a stalk-like structure known as the filament, and at the end of it we have a rounded structure there known as the anther, and within the anther we will have the pollen sacs. The pollen sacs will produce pollen grains, and this filament and anther together are known as stamens. The pollen grain contain the male gametes. So the male sexual half cells are known as the male gametes. Hence the androecium is called the male reproductive part of the flower. Let me repeat this important sentence for you. The androecium, that is the androecium, is known as the male reproductive part of the flower. So I hope it is clear. Let's have a look here to the next part here. The next part is known as gynoecium. Gynoecium is the fourth and the innermost whorl of the flower. It is made up of the carpel or the pistil. The pistil is further made up of three parts: a swollen ovary at the base, a tube-like style arising from the ovary, which has an expanded stigma at its tip. So let's have a look and see. In this diagram, we can find here this part as the ovary. Then this elongated part here, we call it as, you can see here, we call it the style. And right on top, we find this part here, which is the tip. It is known as the stigma. So stigma, style, ovary, forming the gynoecium. Let's read further. The ovary contains small rounded bodies called the ovules. So the ovary contains ovules which contain the female gametes. So the female or the half female cells, we can say, they are found, or the half reproductive cells, female cells, are known as female gametes, also known as ovules, are found in the ovary. For this reason, the gynoecium is called the female reproductive part of the flower. So we know now that the gynoecium is known as the female reproductive part of the flower. So we came to know, by now we came to know the various parts of the flower. First was the calyx. Here in the diagram where we see calyx. Then we came to know about the second part, corolla. And here in the diagram we can easily see corolla here. Then we came to know about the male reproductive part known as the androecium. And here in the diagram we can see the male reproductive part, the androecium, with the anthers and the filament known as the stamen. And then we came to the female reproductive part known as the gynoecium, and here is the gynoecium where it has an ovary and a long style, and at the tip there is stigma, and within the ovary there are ovules. And with this, I believe the structure is very much clear here, as we see the flower showing its internal parts here. So I believe if you have a good look at this diagram, it gives you a very good idea of the structure of a flower, which has a stalk-like pedicel that attaches the flower to the plant or to the branch. At the base there is a disc-like structure that is the base of the flower known as the thalamus. Then we come to the outer whorl or the green leafy structure known as the sepals. Then comes the fragrant and the colored part of the flower known as the petals, or we also call it as the corolla, right? And then we come to the androecium, which is the male reproductive part of the flower, and then we come to the gynoecium, which is the female reproductive part of the flower. So I believe with this the structure should be clear to you. All right, now let's read further. If all the above whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, are present in the same flower, then this flower is known as a complete or a bisexual flower. So if all the structures are found, all the four, that is calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, all are found in the same flower, then such a flower will be known as a complete or a bisexual flower. So I believe a bisexual or a complete flower is a flower that contains all the four whorls, which include calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. However, if any of the four whorls are missing from the flower, then such a flower is known to be as incomplete flower. So if any of the four whorls, that means calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, any of the four whorls are missing from a flower, such a flower is known as incomplete flower. So the next topic that we have to pick up here is the type of flowers. The type of flowers, again we are looking at the type of flowers. First category is either the flower is bisexual or a complete flower, or it is unisexual flower. So what is the difference here? In bisexual flower, the plant have flowers with both male and female reproductive parts. That is as we saw in the diagram. Androecium and gynoecium both are present in the same flower. Such a flower is known as bisexual flower, also known as hermaphrodite flower. Bisexual or hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means male and female sexual part present in the same organism. The same flower has the male part also and female part also for reproduction. Therefore, it is known as bisexual or hermaphrodite. The second type, unisexual flower. In certain flowers, either the male androecium part is present or the female gynoecium reproductive part is present. So there can be certain flowers that may have only male or only female, and they are known as androecium. They are known as unisexual flowers. So unisexual flowers means having either androecium or gynoecium. I believe by now that should be clear. Let's look at functions of a flower. Functions of the flower. Look at functions of the flower here. The flower is the reproductive organ of the plant. The main function is to produce seeds and fruits. The first step for achieving this is through the transfer of pollen grains from one flower or from one anther to another stigma of a flower, or we can say the transfer of pollen grains from anther, which is the male part, to stigma, that is the female part of a flower. This transfer is one of the important parts of a flower, and it is also known as pollination. So pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. Let's again go through this. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. So I hope this is clear. We have easily understood about this. So what we have done in this video, we have understood the structure of the flower. Okay, for the structure of the flower, we understood all the four whorls of the flower. First we came to know about calyx, the tiny green structure, also called as sepals. In the diagram we identified it here. And then we came to know about corolla. Corolla was the second whorl and known as petals. They are beautiful, fragrant, colored, and they are the visible part of the flower here, which we can see here. These are the petals here. Then we came to know about androecium. Androecium is also known as the male reproductive part. The male reproductive part is the androecium, which is having, where we can see very easily, it has a filament, it has an anther, it is known as a stamen together, and in the anther there would be pollen sacs which would produce pollen grain. Then we came to know about gynoecium. Gynoecium is known as the female reproductive part. If we look into the diagram, we have understood that it has an ovary, then it has a long tube-like structure that joins the ovary, we call it as the style, and at the end there would be a stigma, which would be a sticky surface right on top. And this stigma, the main reason the stigma is there right on top and it is sticky, it is because it is the end that is the collecting end for the pollen. So whenever a pollen will be released from the anther, it is supposed to reach the stigma here. So this is more of a collecting organ of the pollen. It collects the pollen here. So this is stigma, and this full structure is known as gynoecium. It is the female reproductive organ that we came to know. We also came to know about the types of the flowers, and we came to know the types. If all the 4 whorls are there, that means calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium are there. We call it as a complete flower, and any flower that has both androecium and gynoecium, we call it as a bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. Then unisexual flowers are the flowers that may not have both. They will have either androecium or they will have a gynoecium as a reproductive part in that particular flower. We came to know about the functions of the flower. The first function of the flower was that the flower is a reproductive organ for the plant. Then it provides fruit and seed. So fruit and seed are given rise to by the help of a flower itself. And then we come to know that it also helps, it plays a vital role in the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma, which we came to know this process of transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of a flower is known as pollination, which we will do in the next video. So I hope you liked this video. Please go through the video so that the concepts will be clear, and don't miss the next video that will be starting with pollination. So thank you for listening and being attentive. God bless you. Be safe, be smart. Thank you.